Grand Rising to Miss J, Shawanda Williams. We building over here. Grand Rising to everybody. Respect to everybody that's coming into the chat and who's gonna watch the replay. This gonna these two news story I found is very disturbing. First one, Chicago Police Department investigate allegations that officer had improper sexual relations with migrants. Hey, listen to this. This is the news story right here. See how y'all found this. The Chicago Police Department said it is investigating an unspecified number of officers for misconduct following allegations they engaged in improper sexual relations with newly arrived migrants. These allegations are under investigation with CPD's Bureau of Internal Affairs and Civilian Office of Police Accountability, and a statement from the agency said it is unclear how many officers are involved or whether disciplinary action had been taken. The allegations were first reported in the Chicago Sun-Times. Hundred million had been staying in city buildings over the past 7 months since being bused to Chicago after crossing the Mexican border in Texas. The buildings include Chicago police stations, where Margaret has spent weeks living on the floors where a long-term solution is worked out. While the long-term solution worked out, okay. At one point, more than 70 migrant families were sleeping in the city's 12th District Police Station. In a statement to CNN, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's office said it was aware of the investigation. Hmm. The city takes these allegations as well as the care of well-being of all residents and new arrivals very seriously. We are monitoring the situation closely, but cannot comment further as this is a subject of an ongoing investigation by the Bureau of Internal Affairs and the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, according to a statement. You're right. It's a whole lot of corrupt. See, these lot of these so-called immigrants that crossed the border in Texas were seeking asylum, and then what? What people in this country fail to realize, we are all immigrants to this country. Although we were born in the country, some of our people is not from this country. They will say illegal. Yes. Guess what? The people that want to talk about illegal. State of Texas and the other places down there was part of Mexico, right? See, and you got these migrants you taking advantage of because they think they don't have no voice. So these police officers took advantage of them. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen to the officers for what they did to the migrants. I don't know they're women, children, men. I don't know men, women, or children. I don't know which one was. Okay, see, what is respect? What is dignity? What is stability at? They come here for a safe haven, and then they wind up getting a nightmare. See, the thing is, what they fail to realize, these people do not love them in this country. Okay, I got another news story. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk. I got another news story. Hold on. I got another news story. I got another news story for you. Got another news story. Hold on, give me a few minutes. Let me find it. Let me find it. Y'all gonna really be sick to your damn stomach with this one. You're gonna be really sick. You're gonna be really sick about this. How often have you seen this? How often have you seen police departments, uh, detectives who cannot solve cases and want to get that case out the way, make up evidence to frame an innocent man? How many have y'all heard about that? And guess what this happened at? This happened in Detroit. Relying on quote false evidence, Detroit mayor said police knowingly manipulated witness statements to frame him for a murder of a baby and a 10-year-old child. Hmm. A man wrongfully imprisoned for 16 years for a gruesome murder said his conviction happened because police manipulated and falsified evidence that ultimately led to his incarceration. How many times have we seen that go on? How many times notice now that there's a whole lot of people that that that's locked up, that are in prison. There's a whole lot of innocent, and they come and find out some of those people that are innocent. They start to be let out, right? They start to be let out. Kenneth Nixon is his name, was supposed to spend life in prison after he was found guilty in 2005 of killing a 1-year-old and a 10-year-old in a house fire in Detroit. He was only 18 at the time. He even told the judge during his sentencing that he was about to sentence an innocent man in prison. He, the judge, did not do his due diligence, whatever. The investigators did do their due diligence, or and the prosecutor did do their due diligence to see what happened. You're right. You're right about that. You're right. Thanks to the work of the criminal justice adv- advocates, activists, Nixon did spend life in prison after the Colin Law Innocent Project Integrity Unit to reopen the investigation of his case in 2021. A judge dismissed the charge and vacated his sentence once it was discovered that he received an unfair trial. How many times have our people, men and women, went to trial and the trial was unfair and still got convicted? It's and you see the pattern. It's starting to happen. It happened too often back then, right? And you start to see the pattern that men that's been these some amount of years in prison is found innocent, and guess what? They out. They're getting out. Okay. Now the exonerated 37-year-old seeks legal retribution to the right the wrongs he suffered. Nixon is suing the city of Detroit and some of the city police official for their part in fabricating evidence in his case and framing him for the arson murder. Listen to this right here. During his trial, authorities relied on the testimony of a 13-year-old son of the two children killed in that fire. The teen told jurors that Nixon was at the scene of the crime, but he gave conflicting accounts of what happened that night, including where he was in the house and if he saw Nixon throw a Molotov cocktail at the home. Oh, here's the other part. Additionally, in change for legacy, a jail informant told investigators that Nixon admitted to the arson, even though the informant only saw news coverage of the case. See, you got to vet them informant, them jail informants, right? You got to vet them, right? You got to vet them. You got to do due diligence to see if their story is true. They didn't do that. Okay, they didn't do that. You see how they got that 13-year-old to say Nixon was the one that threw the Molotov cocktail and started the hot fire that killed the two siblings in the house. Okay, here we go. Prosecutors were skeptical of the testimony at the time. Against those testimonies, the account of three witnesses who saw Dixon that night and maintained his innocence was not enough to validate him. Nixon's girlfriend was even with him the entire night, but reportedly could not testify as a co-defendant. The boyfriend of the mother whose children died and Nixon's girlfriend once had an affair that the children fell to believe Nixon started the fire out of revenge. You see how that you see how that ridiculous shit. You see how ridiculous that is that they would want to put an innocent man in jail because of what happened, what personal for their personal own reason want to put him in there. See, let me read that part again. Since y'all, this girlfriend, this girlfriend could testify on his behalf. But why she could? Okay, if he was with her all night, the boyfriend of the mother whose children died and Nixon's girlfriend once. See, the boyfriend of the mother children who died in the fire and Nixon's girlfriend once had an affair. And they try to say Nixon was jealous because his girlfriend and the mother of the children that died in the fire, boyfriend had an affair. Mm, kind of cold, ain't it? That's a cold, dark, old story right there. Okay, let's keep reading. The judge who vacated Nixon's sentence said of the 13-year-old testimony, the statement and testimony by this key witness were inconsistent to support what is basically the sole identification of Mr. Nixon. In his lawsuit obtained by Atlanta Black Star, Nixon claimed that the detective who investigated the incident knowingly manipulated and then relied on obviously coached false evidence for 13-year-old brother or two of the victim to arrest Mr. Nixon. The suit the suit also alleges that the officers course a jailhouse informant to give fabricated testimony and then deliberately concealed from both the prosecution on and the defense the manner in which that false evidence was created. Nixon also passed a polygraph test according to the suit, but investigators submitted that he failed. Let that sink in for a minute. They would do all that trouble to convict this man when he was 18, called Dixon's Nixon. It's kind of funny how that one that one that one guy was the focus of the investigation of the fire because his girlfriend and the mother of the children that died in the fire boyfriend was sleeping together. See, I wondered had they thought about was it the boyfriend or was the mother that started that fire. See, that's the problem that we have in this society. We go on people's word when it comes down to people's lives. They go into prison, they go into jail, they go into trial. Then there you go. That's called a corrupt system. Like I said last night, is freedom is freedom of speech free? Do we have the right to assemble? They said justice is blind. Yes, justice is blind like a mother. She is blind. She got more than three blindfolds on. She cannot see. Oh, if justice was good, they would have saw that this case wasn't a case at all. So they just went on the word of the boyfriend and the mother of the two kids and the 13-year-old brother and our jail informant and falsified that he did pass a polygraph test to convict him. What it see, this justice system is corrupt. It can be manipulated. to fit the prosecution narrative. It could be twisted, turned in all sorts of ways, bent in, out, all got out of shape. But these two stories right there goes to show you that sometimes they do not care about us, by us melanated people. They do not care about what's really justice, what's really going on. Got them cops in Chicago do things to Margaret, that single asylum that was bused to Chicago from crossing the border, sleeping on police station floors for months in and months on and out in a crowded place. Now they're investigating to see what officer was doing what. One officer gonna get fired, their accreditation of being a police officer, would it be taken away? Would it get sent to jail or prison? That is a question that need to be answered. That's all the news I have for y'all today. But guess what? It is a beautiful, wonderful day, and I'm kind of nervous today. But guess what? It's all up in the high power's hand, and that's the people's hand. But the thing is, we got to open our eyes, look around and see what's new, what we haven't seen before. Enjoy the day, enjoy our life, and speak our truth. Speak out to what's wrong with this society, what's wrong in our world. Speak out. Start at the home. At home. Start with yourself. Tell yourself, I love me some me. I love it. Each and every one of us. Respect to Mono Black TV. Respect to Trudy Nation. Respect to the Nile River. Everybody over there, the Nile River. Respect to y'all. Too many y'all tonight. EJ Podcast, David Shooter, AP, Cuba, Back to the P, James P, Chill Wheel, God the Brand, Skira, Shawanda, and my Cali brothers and sisters, uh, Sharonda, um, Monique Hill, Keyway LA, K Bar, Baby Girl Whitney. Y'all stay safe out there. For the East Christians, AO, Jerry Spears, Alpha Buckeye, Thug Life Manny, Jada, and many more in the Twitch Nation. Like to thank Jay. We building over here. Miss J, we building over here. And so Wanda Williams, respect to everybody. Love and peace. As I always say, love and respect yourself, because if you love and respect yourself, you do seek to be BS. Try to make the day better than it was yesterday. Love and peace. And I am finna be out of here. Love y'all. Take care. And I can't just came with y'all this short live. Just hopefully I can do something tonight. If not, I will be back tomorrow. Peace, love, I'm out.
Buddha.